First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. At their own 19-yard line.
Set. 15, 1. 15, 1. Hey, keep it up. Keep it up. No. Defense.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. And this one's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Go.
Operating from the gun, Weber. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
At their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, Flowers. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And let's pin the mirrors.
Well. Watch the twits.
From the 39, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. This one caught by Davis. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Watch the out. 60.
On 1st down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Throwing on second and long. Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And that's a run that will energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
To try again after the sack. Wilson, and that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
On 2nd down, it's Flowers. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
380.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. He's at the 50. The 30. Past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right,
and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson looking downfield for Jones. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Team 6.
2nd and 5. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Dirty base. Snap.
Throwing on first down. Weaver. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Ready.
Second and 1. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Ready? 8, read.
Everyone got 4 down. Hey, watch 28. Check.
Hey, Haywood.
Begin. Watch twist.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal.
Hey, Charlie.
Here's second and 8. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he's into the clear. He's at the 40, 30, 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
On the set.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal.
Let's get it.
Another shot from the one on second and goal.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Switch. Switch.
Chopper!
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Be driven.
They'll try to run this one in. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
X3, 218, chopper. Hey, 2.
58, come on. 58, come on. Danny.
Let's go.
Looking to throw. Weaver. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
That's their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Right back to him on first down. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Wilson. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At the 26-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch time.
Hey, nice 7.
Hey, we got 4 down.
Ready?
Back to throw. Weaver. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, Weaver. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Wilson now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a 1st down here. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18, and his guys have got it back in the closing stages of the first half.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
On the ready.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Hey, orbit.
A final shot before break. Weaver. The open man is Smith. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Hey, check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Flowers. The 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34.
Well, they put it all together on that one. Good vision, good blocking. A toss play to the left. How do you toss it?
Yeah, a toss is the underhand kind of egg toss. The pitch is kind of, if you're running the option, you pitch it end over end, correct?
Yeah, I agree
you're
totally.
The guy.
I agree totally. And in the NFL, we'll see a lot more tosses than pitches, because if you're pitching it, you might lose your quarterback.
Absolutely. Now Gordon on 1st down. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Wilson. It's caught by Davis. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
58 to Mike. Nice, sweetheart.
On 3rd down, it's Flowers. And he is going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Melvin Gordon, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. Russell Wilson now will bring his guys up to go for 2. They'll try and run it here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or 2 there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
That's the way. Alpha. Right 58, right there.
On first down, Weaver. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Weaver. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Out to his left. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
57 to Mike. Check, 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 check.
They'll run on first down. Flowers. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
Take me up. Here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Flowers. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
From the gun, Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Weaver. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey, echo.
Second and long. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
14. Lions 9.
Come on, set. 10 logo.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He's got Smith here. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll try to run this one in, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Looking to throw. Weaver able to get away. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is indeed good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Flowers. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Wilson to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Wilson from the gun. He'll throw. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. 2nd and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
To throw on 3rd down. Weaver. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Weaver. It's caught. Smith. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the 4th. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And they give this time to the tailback. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Check 26. Pilot, 64. Weak.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Go! Let's go!
At their own 30-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. One last shot for Wilson. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch